Hello, everyone, and welcome to this evening's very special event. My name is Jody Williams, and I'm one of the co-chairs for the First Nation Métis Inuit Education Association of Ontario. And just to share a little bit about who we are before we get started. So we are a provincial organization, and we support Indigenous education throughout Ontario, supporting educators K-12. A lot of our work is in regards to bringing forward credible resources, putting on events such as these, as well as other educative sessions. Our work is guided by an Elders Advisory Council, which is how we got to get to know Monica, who's going to be speaking with us shortly. And so our work always is vetted and goes through our Elders Council to make sure what we're putting forward to the public is quality information for you. And so I'm going to pass it over to Koisa, who's going to be talking to you about the rest of this evening along with Monica. Over to you, Koisa.
Thank you, Jody. Nakome unukut Hawisa Ititi. As I stated, my name is Hawisa Ititi. I'm here today with our Inuit elder, Monica Itusaltuak, who will be doing a teaching on the lighting of the Qulliq and among other topics. I'm going to say a few words about Monica first before we get started. So Monica Tusaptuak is a survivor in every sense of the word. She was born in a winter camp called Akimanik, 7 months premature in an igloo in the dead of winter. She went to 3 different residential schools in Nunavut, Manitoba, 2 schools in Manitoba. She is an educator who has taught in elementary and high schools and also at the college level. Monica holds a master's degree in education. Previously, she had worked as an instructor at the Nunavut Teacher Education Program as a language and culture instructor. And she has worked with Inuit land claim organizations as a wellness coordinator, submitting proposals to the Aboriginal Healing Foundation related to the residential schools issue from the residential school settlement. Monica has 25 grandchildren. This bio is a couple of years old, so maybe Monica, you can let me know if that number has gone up, and 2 great grandchildren. Monica is one of our knowledge keepers in Ontario and is a great resource for our Inuit community in Ontario. Today, we're going to be celebrating and acknowledging International Inuit Day. It's a day that is set aside November 7th, yesterday, every year to acknowledge the Inuit in the circumpolar world. So there are 165,000 Inuit globally, with Inuit in Greenland, Canada, Alaska, and Russia. And in 1977, Eben Hobson started the first Inuit Circumpolar Conference, where Inuit got together to have a united voice, a united international voice in global issues. And I think he was a visionary, and we have him to thank for creating and starting the Inuit Circumpolar Council, what is now called the Inuit Circumpolar Council. So it was created in 2006 on the birth date of Eben Hobson, who was from Alaska. Like I said, he had the vision that Inuit are one people and we should speak with one voice across the Arctic, especially with resource extraction, climate change. I think Inuit voices are more important than ever in terms of advocating for the Arctic, the wildlife, and our homelands, the Inuit Nunangat. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Monica, who's going to talk a little bit about the Qulliq, and she'll be showing our Inuit families and Inuit students how to start the Qulliq, and a little bit of history of the Qulliq, and some personal stories that Monica will share. I'd also like, Monica, if you can talk a little bit about your amauti and the hakaotika that you're wearing, if you wouldn't mind. And then as you're going along, I'll jump in here and there to do this like our conversation, so that we continue to chat and talk, and as we go along. So thank you, Monica, if you don't mind doing a little talk about the Qulliq before you prepare and light the Qulliq in honor of International Inuit Day. Nakomni, thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I have a Qulliq here that I made last year during COVID, that my husband taught me how to do. So the Qulliq is an important Inuit. It comes from tradition long time ago. It's made of soapstone shaped like half moon, and it provides light and warmth to the shelter, be it igloo, kapma, which is a sod house, or tent in the summertime. So it's got a vessel to put the oil, and a rim to put the wick. So this is a small one. And my mother used to have maybe twice as big as this, twice as long. So it was used to anyway, let me first explain that when you put oil in here and the wick is there, you light the wick, and the wick will slowly burn, and it's the flame is controlled by usually kind of a hook-shaped takut. This one I found in my my traditional, where I was born, a Kimena winter camp, in my mother's tent ring. So my father had made this out of big nail, and it's got a antler handle. And this one I made, which is a traditional kind with the traditional design on it. And this one I found in Toronto, on the streets of Toronto, that I use to light the Qulliq. So a Qulliq was traditionally made by a husband for his wife because she was the flame keeper of the home. On a deeper spiritual level, it honors the women as the life carriers. So the lamp is traditionally used by women to take care of their families. It was used for cooking, for drying wet clothes on a rack, for melting ice, for boiling water for tea, and for providing light in the shelter. So today I hope that the Qulliq will create an atmosphere that demonstrates warmth and peace for all the Inuit, both in the circumpolar Inuit lands and the urban communities all across Canada and elsewhere, as well as tender love and care for the Indigenous veterans. It is my hope that this Qulliq will carry light into the people's lives as they continue on their healing journey. So I will begin by telling you about the wick. Well, actually, I'll tell you about the oil. They used to use the seal oil. In the wintertime, they would pound the oil as it was frozen. That, you know, that emits the oil from the, they rendered the oil. And then sometimes they use whale blubber. And I hear that also the whale blubber was, it brought out, brightest flames, brighter than seal oil. And sometimes when they're out caribou hunting, they used to go caribou hunting. They walked to the land for months and months with all their belongings. And they would use caribou fat. And once I heard they even used fat on fish, from a fish. Anyway, whatever was available. And one of the wicks that, Jody, if you could pull up the field of Arctic cotton that we picked from. There's a picture of the Arctic cotton that I picked. And so I have it here. These are the ones that I picked maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And if you don't put them in water, they will keep like this. Well, this one's 3 or 4 years old. So they have a long stem. So thank you, Jody, for showing that one. So here are the ones that I picked that I use for decoration. And when I want to pull out the cotton, this is what I do, like pick them out like this. So I pluck out the cotton like this, so you can see how fluffy they are. And these ones that I have done that, and they're ready to be used as a bait. But what you do is pick out the seeds and extra maybe leaves here and there, because they get in the way in the flame, and the flame doesn't, it's not even when you have all these seeds in the wick. So you pick them out, and then when it's ready, you use them as wick. So I'll start out with putting, they don't have very many seal oil in Toronto, so I use cooking oil. This is vegetable oil in this case. So this is my oil. For my Qulliq, I put it in the vessel. And then I place a bunch of these, and then place it along the rim. So I keep some in the oil so that it'll soak up to the rim. I see that I don't have enough, so I'll add in a bit more oil here. So just before my mom goes to sleep, she puts enough oil to last for the night. Actually, she doesn't light the whole thing, just enough so that the flame will keep burning through the night. What I can do is have the whole rim filled with the Arctic cotton, or I can have a little bit, but so I try and soak everything. If you don't, it'll just go up in flames and it'll disappear. So I have to make sure that it's nicely oiled, but not so much that it will douse it out. So I'll light up a bit of it. So what they used to do a long time ago was strike 2 flint stones, and on one of these, and when it catches a flame, then they would light up. But that takes a long time. So tonight I'm using a lighter. You can use a match or whatever's available. So as you can see, it doesn't really go up in flames, though. It slowly travels across the rim, little by little. So even though this is small, this is a Qulliq, and what they used to have also was Qulliq. Like Qulliq is the top one, Qulliq is the bottom one, and they used to have Qulliq near the entrance of the igloo. Keep that part of the igloo warm. So I'm using this to Right. So when it's all lit like that, I can use this stone takot. This is what we call takot to control the flame. And so one of the things that was used, the use of a qulliq was to dry wet clothes. Like if you don't mind, Jody, could you show us a picture of a drying rack over a qulliq? So you can see there that there's a net created as a drying rack. So you would put kamit, like wet boots, mitts, whatever, over the qulliq. And they would place a chain and a hook at the bottom of the chain to for cattle or pot, hang it over the flames. So as you can see, there's part of it that is that has been lodged into the wall of the igloo, and one holding it up, like down the rack. So that's one use. So there's that other use to boil water for tea. They would also melt ice to make water. They would also use it to cook. And of course, a light for the shelter and warmth. Sometimes it got so warm, you know, people would take their parka off. That's how warm it would be. And like it would melt a bit of the inside of the igloo, but enough so that it hardens when there's not much fire going, not much flames. Like during the night, it will harden the inside of the igloo, so that would be good for insulation. So as you can see in the picture, the woman there is tending the qulliq. And thank you, Jody, for that picture. But nowadays, what I do, and I go home for the summer and live in my tent, and I always have a qulliq, like my mother did before me. I use a rack over the flame, and I put I make bannock on it, I boil water, I make tea. Like instead of hanging it like they used to do. So I guess we use whatever's available. So if anybody has any questions. Oh yeah, another thing. Hold on, one more thing. So there's this other kind of a wick that we use also, and this is Manip that we pick from topsoil. And we cut it up like so. Can you see that now? Chop it up like that into little pieces. And then you would add pussy willows with when they still have little hair on them. Hair, you know, like we do. It's almost like this. So what we do is add this. This is very loose. So we have to use that pussy willow to keep it together, and we mix it like that. So this could also be used as a wick. Okay. Any questions?
Monica Nakukmi, thank you very much. I just had a couple questions. When you were growing up and in Inuit households, I'm assuming that the Qulliq would be lit all the time, especially in winter. And then my question is, how old would women have to be, or around what age would they start tending the Qulliq?
Well, you know, for me, since I used to watch my mother light the Qulliq, tend the flames and all that, I would try and do it myself, but my mom would tell me not to play with the fire. But I thought I knew how to do it. But, you know, when you're a little bit bigger, maybe, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, and you've done some practice, like your mother would trust you. She'll know, you know, whether you're able to do it or not. She'll let you tend the flame. And if she's going out visiting or working outside or something. But like there used to be my mother's side and there's my grandmother's side. But when you're a young woman and you're out with your family, you could have one side of the tent or and you would have your own Qulliq. So when you're a teenager, you can do it, you can have your, but plus 2 Qulliqs are better than one. Heats the shelter faster. And like you could melt ice in one or make cook in the other. So I guess when you're a teenager, you're allowed to have your own Qulliq.
Awesome, thank you. Can I ask you about your amauti that you're wearing? Did you make that yourself?
Yeah.
Maybe if you could stand up and show
okay.
what.
This is what my mother used. This is a traditional wear. She grew up in the Qulliq area, I guess. Well, she lived there some part of her life. And so this style has a long hood like that. And it's got big tui shoulder. So this is what my mother used to use. Like she wore caribou fur on the inside to keep the warm air in, and the caribou fur on the outside to keep the cold air out. And this is what the style that she used to carry me in the dead of winter. I remember, like, so she had to undo this and pull me to her front my head would come this way, and then she would feed me without me ever coming out of outside, and put me back to the back. And so this was her stuff. But when I wore it as a modern Inuit, one time we're having a trip to Hobby, which is about 60 miles from Qulliq, and my baby needed to be changed. So what I did was I go like this, and I put the baby in here and changed his pamper without him ever coming out also. So this is very functional for winter wear especially. And the nigjak, these keep the wind out from entering into the body.
Did you make that yourself?
Yeah, this is the one I made for my, when I graduated from the master's program. We didn't want to just wear those, McGill University or the university outfits. We wanted something that is meaningful to our culture. So we each made our own amauti, our traditional style, like this is what Qulliq wore. And there's others that have a different style, and you can tell by the style where they came from. Some from Qulliq, from Qulliq, all over, and we each had our different styles, but traditional from your mother's family, and so on.
Are those styles still specific to each community today?
But I guess now people are getting patterns from one another, whatever they like. Sometimes you see Northern Quebec style being worn everywhere, or Pontiac style being used everywhere also. So it sometimes I see a mix of each of them.
Okay.
You can tell where they originated from.
Awesome. I also wanted to ask you about the headband that you're wearing and the thing around your neck. If you can talk a little bit about those two. And I know that the sewing kit around your neck was made by Serapio, your former your husband, who was one of our elders in Ontario, and a recognized elder from Qulliq too.
Yes. Well, actually, I got this from Inuit, which is made from Joe Haven. It's got the skin, de-haired caribou skin that you use to keep the needles, and a little pouch to keep the thimble, and a little ulu to cut the thread. And this is bone of a caribou leg. There was a very simple one that was here, but my husband made this for me, and it has traditional tattoo style pattern on it. So this is very special for me. It had a little those generic metal, but Susie and I beaded patterns, which is more attractive than those flat things.
What, Monica, what would you call that?
Kanot ko ay it's like they had different patterns. I've seen one that had a lid, just simple tube like this with a lid where they kept the needles.
And I guess in the past, because Inuit had to make their own clothing and using bone needles, that they had to make sure that to protect the needles, you know, from breaking. That's probably why.
Also from getting lost.
Yeah, that too. Can you tell us a little bit about your headband that you're wearing?
Okay, there are some different stories that I heard. One of them is they wore them to attract whales in the fall when they're migrating. When they see a shiny thing, they come. That's one of the stories that I heard. Another one is they wore them if they had been cannibals or something like that, just to be aware of that person. That person had eaten another human being. It was just taboo. So that's very negative one that I heard about. But nowadays it's used for, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of artwork, I think. And very attractive. And we are using it now to when we're celebrating something. Like I have my amauti, traditional amauti, and my kaoti, which is means this is a special occasion. And now we're celebrating International Inuit Day and Indigenous Veterans Day. So they're both very special days. So that's why I'm wearing my amauti and my kaoti today, just to honor them.
Awesome, thank you very much. And I think it shows the resilience and the ingenuity of the Inuit, that we were able to survive and thrive in the Arctic for thousands of years.
And this Qulliq is giving off so much heat. I'm sweating.
So would the Qulliq be on? I guess it would have to be on all night, especially in winter, eh?
Yeah, and my mother would, make it smaller, just so that, there's light that'll be burning all night, but you won't be cooking, you won't be melting ice or anything, just so that there's a bit of light and a bit of heat in the igloo, for example. And in the morning, she would spread it out like this first thing in the morning, and then suddenly you have heat in the igloo and more light. So you can go as far as there's wick in the the rim of the Qulliq. So when this goes, you just bring up some more from inside the vessel in there. And what they do in Qulliq in Return of the Sun celebrations, they would get rid of the old wick, get rid of the old oil. They put a new set of wick and brand new oil to celebrate the new year, the return of the sun. So before they did that, they would blow the flames out. They would have kids do that, blow it out, and then it would be like a celebration. New week, new oil, new year. So this would be part of a celebration to light a new Qulliq, new flames, new light, new return of the sun, where they will be able to hunt in the daylight now. No more hungry days, no more lack. Just more sun, and you have this past or Salagayay, the hardship.
You survived another.
You survived the cold winter.
And I guess because Qulliq is above the Arctic Circle, they do experience total darkness for a couple of months every winter, and then you would have 24-hour sunlight in summer too, eh?
Yeah, spring, summer. So the sun will be setting soon in Qulliq in November. And then usually the sun comes out, when I was there anyways, it usually was around January 12.
And that's when they would hold the Return of the Sun celebration, eh? And I heard, I've never been to Qulliq during that time, but I heard that they make a large hagik, a large igloo for to celebrate that day too.
Yes, I remember one time they made a large igloo of ice. They got ice from a lake and they hauled it to Qulliq, and they built a great big igloo for drum dancing, for games and that. And they were having celebrations, and I was inside because it was so cold, and there was fireworks, and you could see the same design on every block of the fireworks, whatever. It was so beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I remember when we had yourself and Serapio a couple of years ago, he mentioned that around the Return of the Sun time in Qulliq, that people would know that the Return of the Sun was coming when a red star appeared in the horizon around December 21st to signify shorter days are coming. I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit about that.
No, I'm not a hunter, or I'm not traditional. I don't have traditional knowledge in that area. As you know, I grew up in a residential school. And my father never taught me about weather or the stars and things like that, I'm sorry to say.
Okay, thank you, Monica. You mentioned that you made your own Qulliq. Is that stone from up north or from Ontario?
From, nobody knows where that came from. Nobody, where did that stone come from? Can you tell us? Somewhere in the Kipling area.
Okay.
Yeah, here in Toronto.
Mm.
Yeah,
How long did it take for you to make it?
at least 2 weeks.
A lot of work, eh?
Yeah, for me, like I've never worked with tools. All I've ever done is sewing, knitting, crochet, writing, and
Mhm.
I got 4 sons, and so they did all the heavy work, carving and making things, but they never included me. So this was the first time I worked with tools. First time I found out what tools are made for, what they do. And
Mhm.
so I would ask my husband to do it, but he would tell me, "You're making the Qulliq, you try. You do it like this, here, try it." Oh my goodness. Yeah,
But you were successful because it's beautiful and it's working.
it works.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the tool you were using to chop up the manik,
Oh, the manok.
the ulu?
Oh, the ulu.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. The ulu is a traditional Inuit knife. And so this one was made by my husband. And I like the bigger ones because I would use them to scrape skin, seal skin. And so the bigger ones do a better job of that. And I use it to cut up frozen meat or even any kind of meat. I use it like when I eat like this, like cooked meat, and I also use it to cut thread, also to undo sewing. They're useful for anything and everything, I think. So no woman should go without an ulu.
Do you own more than one ulu,
Yeah,
Monica?
you want to see them all?
Sure, sure.
Get them.
Was there any questions from any participants that you can do it in the chat, or you can send a message to Jody or myself?
Okay. Hi. Hi, Nala.
Hi.
Where's that place again? Where
A what?
where you get soapstone?
Oh, oh, I,
It's around Kipling area,
it's
right?
on Munster Road in Etobicoke. Oh, no, in Mississauga. I totally forget the name of the place.
Well, anyway, here's the ulu that I received when I got my beard, and my name's engraved on it.
Nice.
Very nice.
And it's got a antler handle. This is the pattern that my uncle and my father used for scraping seals. One of my big ones that I use for skinning seals. And this is a smaller one. And this one's stainless steel with the wooden handle. Another one of those bigger ones with plastic. And this one was made by my son with a plastic handle. I used this one to cut frozen meat. So this one's a ripper. When my mom taught me to, if I'm not satisfied with my stitches, undo it. So this is my ripper. Undo it and redo it. So I do a lot of undoing, redoing.
Would that one also be used to cut your skins and stuff for when you're making your patterns?
Yeah, cutting patterns. Yeah, this one. So you don't have to, like, this is too far. So this is closer to the actual, what you're working on. So to cut patterns. Yeah. These are some of my some more out there, but
essential tools for an Inuit woman. Do you still cook with your Qulliq?
Yes, I make bannock too with my Qulliq. You make the best bannock with the Qulliq. Even if you turn the heat down low on range, it doesn't cook as well as it does with the Qulliq. This is a very slow cooker, but it makes beautiful bannock.
I can't wait to try some.
Yeah, let me know when you're in town and I could make some for you.
Awesome. Awesome.
I have a question. When the men caught polar bear, did you use the fat to also put it in their Qulliq?
Yeah, they can do that too. Yeah, but you know, when they're cooking polar bear meat, they have to cook it for hours and hours and hours and make sure it's well cooked enough, like tender. And they taste better with the fat. You use it more with eating polar bear meat.
Yeah, I used to experience that with my grandfather. He was a very good hunter too. But, well, there's no but. I thought I'll share that.
Monica, do you know if there was a preference on type of animal fat to use in your Qulliq, or would it be just what is available at the time?
Yeah, more of what's available. But I've only used seal oil, ubjuk also, bearded seal. But here they can use whale number 2.
Manip, did you go out on the land and pick up manip also from the bird's nest?
No,
No?
no, we pick it from the topsoil. Idjong.
Okay. When we were growing up, my friends' family and my family, we used to go out on the land, and sometimes we'll be told to go searching for birds' nest. And when we find eggs, we were also told to pick up bird feathers, Qulliqs. I think that's what they were. Well, little feathers combined with small twigs and Qulliq, with Arctic cotton. That's what we used to burn our Qulliqs with.
So you use this wick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have some. There's like Qulliq here.
Heather. I've got some too, some heather.
My little what these were from a bird's nest. A good friend of mine sent them to me when I asked her if she just go out and pick me some up so I can light up my Qulliq too. You happy? Kuya na make.
Too. Kuya na may nawala.
Thank you, Monica, for sharing your knowledge and your time with Inuit families in Ontario. I just want to say that it's been an honor to celebrate International Inuit Day with you. And Naula, thank you for coming. If you have any final words, Monica, that would be amazing. And that you're able to share your teachings with us. Thank you very much, Monica.
Yeah. When I light my Qulliq, it creates an atmosphere because it takes you to your beginnings where it was nice and peaceful and you're protected and you're cherished and loved and honored and all those things. I just love lighting my Qulliq, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to do it tonight.
No, I thank you, and I hope that people have a better understanding about the Qulliq and Inuit culture. And I just want to say, like, happy International Inuit Day, Monica, in Toronto. I'm in Ottawa, and happy International Inuit Day now. Thank you very much, and we'll talk soon. Nakok